were the clients' challenges back then and what are the challenges now? And what are going to be their challenges in the next 5 years?
Actually, I'm going to be honest and say, I don't think we understood very well their challenges before, as I said, because they would try to push more capabilities, which we thought were what they needed.
So you have a hammer and everything looks like a nail,
yeah.
I remember Carl used to say that we had this approach, spray and pray approach. Basically, you start with a bunch of smart guys who can do anything and whatever you like with your data. Now we have this maturity to understand more about our clients.
Nowadays, we have a more narrow understanding of where our strengths lie, but also where really the key needs of our clients lie, and that's of course in customer experience and customer analytics and understanding, of course, these through insights analytics, but also driving the impact overall in terms of the business. So how does that translate to 50 million for the business or 100 million for the business? So that has changed a lot.
But you talk to a lot of clients and other CEOs of similar companies as well. Where is the market headed?
We are aligned behind the fact that the market is headed in a couple of things. One is simplicity in terms of the technology offering, because it's becoming commoditized. So all the technology services are, the products and services are becoming commoditized. So where the future of our lies is in the impact in those specific business cases, but they need to be at the fingertip of the client. They don't need to say, okay, there's a impact program which we're going to do. We're going to prove that your program works, but it's going to take 1.5 years and 5 million. The client then wouldn't go for it. It needs to be at the fingertip. So we think that the future lies in impact-focused business cases that are at the fingertip of the client, integrated in existing technology, basically. One example in MedTech, I've been to a lot of conferences around our team as well. The big AI push there is to create virtual twins. So basically, creating a virtual twin, you can predict their development of the body and their overall health and well-being, and then try to predict potentially which areas they might be vulnerable to in terms of disease and such. I would say the same thing in customer experience. You have your virtual twins as a customer. So basically, instead of going and asking people constantly about their opinion and so on, actually you're going to create, based on all the available data, you're going to create those virtual twins and predict their future behavior as well, which stages there might be bugged about an experience on the journey. But this is more the commercial aspect. The other aspect, which I think is something very interesting, and it's upcoming, especially around COVID, is around more not so much commercial applicability, but also in terms of caring about your customers. So most recently, we have our the customer vulnerability index, which is very similar. You have on one end, yes, which are the customers who can provide the best experience, if there are problems on the whole journey, but then which are the vulnerable ones who I can support them.
We saw a lot of clients that are at a stage where they're doing in CX, they're doing some of these things quite right. Some of these things, of course, they can still improve, but they're at a stage where they have to measure and prove the CX impact. Ultimately, we immediately recognized that quite a lot of what we actually were already doing and setting sometimes as capability, sometimes as customer analytics, actually empowered these CX impact cases. So it's always about retaining the customer, making them happier as a way to also increase the lifetime value of that customer or that account. And also using them as a referral point to acquire new clients as well. So we already had quite a lot of use cases that quite smoothly went into that offering.
Martin, you manage one of the most dynamic areas in the company, actually, data analytics and data science. How do you manage to keep up with all the things that are happening there? What's happening actually in data analytics?
Well, one thing for certain is you have to basically follow the main trends around the industry. Not only data science in the industry, but also all adjacent industry, like computer science, for example, new machines, new powers, new type of processing, if you like. Other than that, you need to basically engage what is better for the clients themselves, to understand how do they utilize their data to the very point that it's useful for them, knowing the fact that it's scattered around, knowing the fact that they don't know a lot things about data analytics and how to explain to them what you mean. So it's basically knowledge.
It's a very good point, and I fully agree with that. And one thing for me is that's always fascinating is that when I talk to people, let's say from the data science team or technology teams, right, it's super interesting how what you describe comes into play. So when I come with them like with an idea or a decision that we want to work on, and suddenly they get very cold. In essence, they're like, well, that doesn't sound very interesting. That doesn't sound very exciting. That's a big signal for me that maybe it isn't. Right?
Well, very interesting point you raised. I think that the success, I think, in part is what you said. One is exciting the people, and the second part is exciting the clients. Like at the end of the day, this is the ingredients. You excite the clients that you're genuinely interested in helping them be successful, and also we try to excite the people with being closer to the client, having impact. Creating the environment as well, creating the environment, hiring the right type of people, supporting them be successful as well. So if you have excited clients and excited team, I think that's all you need.